In my view, for immigration reform to pass and to credibly fix the problem, it needs three elements to be added to the current bill. First of all, it needs border security, real teeth in border security, and I regret that the committee rejected a number of amendments that would have put real teeth in the border security. Secondly, I believe we should expand legal immigration, reduce the barriers, reduce the waiting periods, and I've introduced two amendments to significantly expand legal immigration, to double the caps on legal immigration from 675,000 to 1.3 million, and to increase temporary high-skilled workers by 500%. But third, I believe for this legislation to solve the problem, there should not be a pathway to citizenship for those who are here illegally.
We have to also face the reality that what's hurting American workers, maybe more than anything else if you're an unskilled worker in America, is a huge amount of immigration that's going on in this country. And I'm not just talking about illegal immigration. Yes, we've seen 12, 15 million illegal immigrants here who are competing in primarily unskilled jobs. But in the last 14 years since 2000, there have been more people who have come to this country legally than any 14-year period in American history. And that includes the Great Wave. And you know, historically in America, what we've done every time we've had huge waves of immigration, they've been waves. And what happens to waves? Well, they come in and then they go out. They provide a respite. They provide a respite for a lot of reasons, for labor markets to adjust. One of the reasons that we see labor markets in such distress and wages not going anywhere is because there's a flood of labor coming in. And we have the Democratic Party who doesn't care. They say they care about the workers, but they don't. You know what they care about? They care about bringing as many people in to get as many of their votes as possible. That's what they care about. They care about power, and this is a way to power. And unfortunately, on our side, on the Republican side, we have the business community who sees labor as a commodity. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't see people as a commodity. I see people as individuals and valuable people whose wages should not be depressed to keep profits high by having people come into this country to keep wages down.
In the course of this markup, I've introduced 5 amendments that were designed to improve the bill, and in particular to put it in a situation where it would actually fix the problem. First of all, I introduced an amendment to actually secure the border. I introduced 2 amendments to improve legal immigration, one to increase high-skilled temporary workers fivefold from 65,000 to 325,000. The second amendment would have doubled legal immigration, increased employment-based immigration, increased family-based immigration, simplified the system. Every Democrat on this committee voted against increasing legal immigration because I was told by my colleagues on the other side that a deal had been reached in closed-door negotiations with union leaders, and more legal immigration was not acceptable, was not part of that deal. I think that's an unfortunate admission of how this bill was arrived, and I think it is unfortunate that we saw the votes we did. And finally, I think to work and fix the problem and to be able to pass, this bill should respect the rule of law by not creating a path to citizenship for those who are here illegally. And I hope when this bill goes to the floor of the Senate that those who want immigration reform to pass, and I count myself among them, I want common sense immigration reform to pass, will look to bipartisan areas of cooperation to improve this bill and to fix the problem.
If there's anything that you know about me, I'm willing to fight. I'm not only out there talking tough on immigration, but we're the only person that's put a plan out there that actually is going to do something about illegal immigration and the crime that comes across the border as a result of that. And we're also going to do something about legal immigration, which is flooding our country. We saw wages in the last quarter be the lowest ever in the history of our country, lowest increase in the history of our country. Why? Because we brought in 35 million people to this country over the last 20 years, and most of the Republican field wants to bring more in. In fact, you have conservatives. Most of the conservatives in this field are saying we need to double the number of legal immigrants.
The Second Amendment would have doubled legal immigration, increased employment-based immigration, increased family-based immigration.
And most of the folks in this field are for some form of amnesty of the people who are here. what does that do? It directly impacts the wage growth and opportunities of working men and women in this country, and nobody's looking out for them. The Democrats, all they care about is more votes, so they're going to be for as many people. Come on, they're going to vote for me. And Republicans, well, look at where all the money's going. It's going to the candidates who are really strong on promoting more immigration to this country. That's because that's where the business community is. They want cheaper labor.
I introduced 2 amendments to improve legal immigration. One, to increase high-skilled temporary workers fivefold, from 65,000 to 325,000, because they're pro-growth. They would strengthen our economy and increase jobs.
We need a policy that puts Americans first, an American immigration policy that says no to amnesty, that says yes to securing the border, and that says that we need to dial back on chain immigration in this country, which is resulting in over 1 million people a year coming here to suppress our labor markets. It's a very simple formula, and it's not against anything. I'm the son of an immigrant, and I'll give you the experience of my father. He was one of the guys caught in the wave. My grandfather came at the end of the Great Wave in 1923. In 1921 and 1924, they passed 2 immigration laws that shut down immigration. After 1924, immigration was about 100,000 a year. It's now over 1 million a year in America today. It was 100,000 a year, and so my father was in Italy, and my grandfather was in America. For 7 years it took for him to wait so he could see his dad. You can say, well, we shouldn't do that to people. My dad would always say, America was worth the wait. It's worth doing it the right way, because it was right for America to take a pause and to make sure that Americans were looked after first, so when he came, he had the opportunities that the American dream will give to all of your children.